to it. I'm back with Viewer Request Month, and this review is actually for Hannah, or Miss Poppy 90. And the movie I'm going to be talking about is Ralph Bakshi's 1981 film, American Pop. Now, basically, this revolves around 4 generations of the same musical family, and they're all growing up through different generations and different times in music. It starts out in the vaudeville era with the first generation. His name is Zalmy. He's like a vaudeville performer, and he basically goes around these different clubs gathering like song lyrics and stuff because he wants to be a singer. And he's performing in World War I and gets shot in the neck, which changes his voice. And so that pretty much ends his career. And it goes to the next generation, which is his son Benny, who is a very talented piano player. And of course, he also wants to make it in the music biz, but life gets in the way. He ends up marrying into a mafia family, and a lot of shit goes down from there. From what I remember, Benny's mother, who is Zalmy's wife, actually there's a package delivered, and it's actually a bomb, and that's how his mother dies. So basically, you go to Benny growing up and going into World War II, and he's basically fighting in the war, and he comes across this rundown bar, and he starts playing the piano, but then a German soldier comes up behind him, so it's like he's playing the last song for this German soldier, and the soldier goes Danke, which I guess is German for thanks, and shoots him up. And then it goes into the longest section of the movie, which is Benny's son Tony, who does have a touch of success writing songs for this like 60s hippie type Jefferson Airplane style band. And they end up really taking off, but Tony ends up having to let it go because he ends up having a breakdown. The singer he was writing the songs for was basically his muse. She ends up dying of a drug overdose, and basically he goes through this breakdown. It's like a really powerful scene, and after that you cut to the last generation of the family, which is actually Tony's son Pete, who is featured here on the cover, and he's actually the one who becomes a star. He starts out, him and Tony basically go to New York, and they're selling drugs and everything to make money, but Pete's playing guitar on the streets, and Tony takes the money to buy drugs and stuff, and Tony eventually ends up leaving. So basically when Pete grows up, he starts selling drugs to make money, and he sells drugs to this big band, and the only way he'd sell them any more drugs is if they played one of his songs. And so he ends up playing a song, and it ends up getting him some attention, and he ends up becoming the big star. And that's basically how the movie ends, with Pete finally making it in the biz. And I guess what I gotta say about this movie is I really love it. I mean, the first time I saw it, I was like 12 years old, and I caught it on Cinemax late at night, and it's got a lot of really good music from the different times of the different eras, especially during Tony's segment when you go through the psychedelic era and all the, stuff like the Mamas and the Papas. There's a scene where he's playing California Dreamin' on a harmonica before he meets the band he starts writing for. And then during his breakdown, which is, like I said, that's a really powerful scene, they actually use Janis Joplin's song Summertime, and I think that song makes that scene even more powerful. Then, of course, with Pete's segment, you get a lot of the really awesome 70s rock and roll. One of the songs that is playing while he's going through his drug selling days is actually Pat Benatar's Hell is for Children, which, of course, this movie came out in '81, so Pat Benatar was just starting to become pretty big around the time, and I think Hell is for Children was one of her first big hits, so they decided to use that. And the song Pete plays to actually make it big is Bob Seger's Night Moves, and it's actually a different version than the recorded version that most people would hear on the radio, because it starts out with this really cool like piano style intro, and it goes throughout most of the song. I mean, it's the same song, but it's just got this really cool piano riff to it added to the rest of the song. And like I said, Pete ends up making it big, and I don't really know what else I can say about this movie. It's really powerful. I mean, the music is great. I mean, it's got great animation. I would say, though, if you are a younger person, I would avoid this movie for the time being because it is rated R, and it is rated R for a lot of good reasons, you know, drug use and all that. Like I kind of explained, you know, the singer dying of drug overdose, you know, Pete and Tony and his drug use, Pete being the one selling the drugs, but it's basically a really powerful movie. I would consider it one of Bakshi's best, next to probably Fritz the Cat and Heavy Traffic, but this is one that I really, really enjoyed. I still love it to this day. Actually, I watched it last week and I forgot how much I actually love this movie. And if you haven't seen this movie, I would say give it a look. But like I said, it's rated R for a reason. There's a lot of foul language, drug use, violence. I mean, there really isn't any sex in it like with Fritz the Cat and Heavy Traffic, but Bakshi, he was known for doing the R-rated adult-style animation back in the 70s and 80s, which is something you really don't see nowadays, except for like in Japanese anime, which I do love, and I will get into that in another video I plan to do at some point today. But that was American Pop, and Hannah, Miss Poppy 90, I hope you enjoyed this review. Better, and I told you it'd be a better one than I gave to Coonskin because I do enjoy this movie. And like I said, if you haven't seen this movie, give it a look. You may like it, especially if you're a big music nut like I am. And once again, I just want to thank you guys for all the support you've shown me over the past week with all the drama I've been going through. It really means a lot, and it gave me that extra push to come out of this forced hiatus and get back to doing what I love doing, and that's making videos for you guys. And once again, this is lilrockercutie2005, also known as Andre. I'm back here with ya. I'm not going anywhere. I'm telling you to enjoy life, enjoy some Skittles, enjoy some Starbursts, and in the immortal words of my faithful partner Chris, eat some chicken. Oh, and one more thing. Our contest is still going on, but it ends Saturday, June 1st, midnight Pacific time, 3 a.m. here on the East Coast. So people in California who subscribe to my channel, like Cry Popcorn for instance, I did leave you a comment. I do hope you get in on our contest before it ends. But as I said, lilrockercutie2005, also known as Andre. Like I said, I'm back with ya. I'm not going anywhere. I thank everybody for the wonderful support you've shown me, and I'll see you guys later.